Can't scan it. Oh, there you go.
You said phone. What?
We're ready.
Susan,
We're ready.
figure you'd be out photographing
that.
here again.
I will now call the July 5th, 2022 Blue Springs Council meeting to order. If you would stand for me, observe a moment of silence, and I will lead you in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I want to welcome those in attendance as well as those that might be watching on cable TV at a later time. Confirmation of a quorum, please.
Please state present when I state your name. Council members Kaler.
Say my name too? Is that what you said?
State present.
Present.
Council members Levesey,
Here.
Fowler,
Present.
Erickson,
Present.
Edmondson,
Here.
Culpepper,
Present.
Mayor Ross.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Next, we have the consent agenda. Unless there are items need to be pulled, I accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Council members Kaler,
Aye.
Levesey,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Erickson,
Aye.
Edmondson,
Aye.
Culpepper,
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Next, we have a public hearing on the Valley Oaks annexation.
Mayor, the city has the following exhibit to enter into the record. City Council information form dated June 21st, 2022 with the following attachments. Site location maps, petition of voluntary annexation with attachments, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on June 18th, 2022, 185-foot notification map, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of site, copy of letters sent to said property owners, and bill approving the annexation. This is all we have to offer for the record.
Okay, Mike, on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Mayor, members of City Council. I believe I need to be sworn in.
Yes.
Yes. I do. Mike Mallon, 903 West Main Street, on behalf of the city, and I have just been sworn. Tonight is a public hearing being held at the request of the applicant, Valley Oaks Investments, LLC, for consideration to approve an annexation of property located at 30002 West Jefferson Road, approximately 47 acres in size, into the city limits. The property is generally located north of Jefferson Road in between Northeast 20th Street and Tire Road. The map here shows the property proposed to be annexed, highlighted or surrounded by the black and white dashed line. The property is contiguous and compact to the current city limits. The Forcia building is to the west. The Kohl's Distribution Center is to the north. The Blue Springs Logistics Center is to the east, and Northeast Jefferson Street to the south. There are two properties directly adjacent to it that are not proposed to be annexed here. This one down in the southeast corner, which was right-of-way taken to be built for 27th Street, and a little chunk of land down here in the south portion. But the overall property size is approximately 47 acres in size. The annexation petition was received May 25th. This initial public hearing is occurring within the state statute required 60 days of the receipt of that petition. Tonight is the public hearing and first reading of the bill for the proposed annexation. The second reading is scheduled for August 1st, 2022 City Council agenda. The property is not proposed for rezoning at this time or any kind of development at this time, and we'll have to go through the appropriate City Council processes when those are determined by the property owner in the future. As such, the property will retain, if approved for annexation on second reading, the property will retain its county zoning designation of light industrial until that property is proposed to be developed, or no development can occur on the property until it does go through the necessary city required approval process. Staff recommends approval of the annexation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions from the council for Mike? Seeing none, thank you. Is the applicant present?
They are not.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go to the public. Anyone in the audience like to speak in support of, opposition to? Council, any comments? Seeing none, close this public hearing. Who would like to introduce bill number 4994?
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
All right, first reading only.
First reading of bill number 4994, an ordinance annexing 46.92 plus or minus acres of property located north of East Jefferson Road between Northwest 20th Street and Tyre Road, 30002 West Jefferson Road, to the city of Blue Springs, Missouri.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
In discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next public hearing that was continued from the June 21st meeting will be continued to a council meeting date to be determined by staff. Next, we have introduction and reading of bill number 4995.
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of bill number 4995, an ordinance approving the final plat for Summit Behavioral Services, Lot 1, Blue Springs, Jackson County, Missouri.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of bill number 4995, an ordinance approving the final plat for Summit Behavioral Services, Lot 1, Blue Springs, Jackson County, Missouri.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance
Is there
number.
a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmembers Fowler,
Aye.
Erickson,
Aye.
Edmondson,
Aye.
Culpepper,
Aye.
Kaler,
Aye.
Levesey,
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously and given ordinance number 5127.
Next, we have introduction and reading of bill number 4996.
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
First reading of bill number 4996, an ordinance amending Title III, Schedule 3, prohibited parking, certain sections of designated streets, Table 3A, no parking at any time of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to add new paragraphs prohibiting parking on Northwest 36th Street, Southwest 6th Street, and Southwest Lincoln Avenue.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of bill number 4996, an ordinance amending Title III, Schedule 3, prohibited parking, certain sections of designated streets, Table 3A, no parking at any time of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to add new paragraphs prohibiting parking on Northwest 36th Street, Southwest 6th Street, and Southwest Lincoln Avenue.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on the second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance
Is there a
number.
second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmembers Erickson,
Aye.
Edmondson,
Aye.
Culpepper,
Aye.
Kaler,
Aye.
Levesey,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously and given ordinance number 5128.
Next, we have introduction and reading of bill number 4997.
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
First reading of bill number 4997, an ordinance amending Title III, Schedule 3, prohibited parking, certain sections of designated streets of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to add a new table, Table 3F, and paragraph prohibiting parking on Northwest Garrett Drive, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Erickson?
When you read that, did you mean to not say Monday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday, or did I miss that? Did you not say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
I did say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'm reading the title of the bill, and I don't see that that says Monday through Friday in the title of the bill.
Okay, in our paperwork, or on our paperwork, it says Monday through Sunday, which to me seems confusing, because that's every day of the week. So is that gonna be in the ordinance, Monday through Sunday, or is that gonna not be in the ordinance?
I guess we'll go to our city attorney.
Yeah, that would be in the ordinance. I'm not sure why it's worded that way, if that's how we've worded the other no parking,
Okay.
streets.
It just seems confusing to me. It works, so, okay.
Any other discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes, Councilmember Kaler.
can we, suggest that we start enforcing that? Then, please?
The chief was there. There he is. I'm sure the chief will say duly noted. I don't wanna speak for him. Duly noted. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of bill number 4997, an ordinance amending Title III, Schedule 3, prohibited parking, certain sections of designated streets of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to add a new table, Table 3F, and paragraph prohibiting parking on Northwest Garrett Drive, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance
Is there
number.
a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Edmondson,
Aye.
Culpepper,
Aye.
Kaler,
Aye.
Levesey,
Aye.
Fowler,
Aye.
Erickson,
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously and given ordinance number 5129.
Next, we have a discussion on virtual meetings. I think, was that a Edmondson and Erickson request?
Correct.
Which one do you wanna take the lead?
He wants
Or
me
each one of you pointing at each other?
I'll do it, sir.
Okay, alphabetically, who comes first?
Well, let's think about that. I believe you're first.
I think ED would come
All right, I'll
before
start it
EI.
off. Galen has been talking about wanting to discuss this, and I know it's been put up that we would only be doing that in a state of emergency, having virtual meetings, as an outcome of the COVID and that. And with Galen wanting to, I believe, have further discussion with this, I said I would co-sign with him on this so that we could get it up here before us as a group and discuss what your point of view is on this.
Okay, now you wanna give us your point of view?
Yes, sir, I realize, and I'm not talking about this meeting. I'm not talking about planning commission, unless we have the emergencies, et cetera. And what I'm referring to are things like, historic preservation, solid waste, maybe even public safety, downtown alive, a discussion of some way that in the event that there's not a quorum, that the meeting could continue anyway. And I would go back and say, prior to 2020, when I was a voting member on the, I wasn't a voting member, excuse me, I was a liaison to the Development Advisory Council, we actually used telephones. And maybe we shouldn't have, but we did. We recently had a Downtown Alive meeting, which is maybe not, maybe it's a little more quasi-official than the others, I don't know. But the chairman was actually in South Dakota on a Zoom meeting. We need some consistency, I think, and I think I hate to use the term minor commissions, but perchance that's what I'm talking about. I'd like to see the staff come up with a way that some of these meetings that are not scheduled every other Monday could have the opportunity to be there without messing up the quorum.
Any other ideas before I give you my opinion?
Yeah, Your Honor?
Yes.
When we had our meetings and talked about this, I think part of the reasoning was on those commissions that are on call, meeting on call, Cheryl would go through and call everybody to find a date that everyone could attend. It wasn't a matter of, as we do, the first and third period, no question. Or the planning commission, second and fourth, no question. The other commissions they meet as needed. And when those meetings are scheduled, she confirms with those members of that commission. And that was the reasoning on that, just for clarification.
I remember that. I appreciate that clarification. And again, my opinion, I serve on a lot of boards other than being mayor of the city of Blue Springs, the Mid-America Regional Council, Missouri Municipal League, and a lot of those. And one of the things that we're encouraging more and more of them to do away with the virtual meetings, because I think it just has more substance when you're looking at eyeball to eyeball, rather than on a Zoom call. And I think the participation, and I don't know for certain, but I believe that a lot of them use it as a matter of convenience so they can do a task. You can shut down the video, you can shut down the audio, and you can have it going, but you're doing something else, and you don't have to drive to the meeting. And so we strongly encourage people to start getting back to the in-person, rather than the virtual. Yes, Councilmember Edmonds.
Now that I was the first to introduce it, but I would like to put some thought into this, and I have, after we've discussed this a little bit, And kind of along Councilman Culpepper's line that I don't want it, and you kind of just commented on it one way, but some of the reasons we just did this revamping of all the boards and committees and coming up with the procedures and stuff was to try to combat the lack of attendance. And after thinking about it, I worry that if we go back to doing virtual meeting, would that make it that much more easy just to slough it off and then make a phone call in, which puts a burden on staff to try to coordinate that. Councilman Culpepper, when she was out of town when we were doing virtual meetings, she was having difficulty having service, which put staff at a position where, okay, is she there, is she not there, that type of thing. So I kind of agree with you on your thoughts that you just stated, that it could lead itself down a road we don't want to go down.
Understood. Anybody down this way? Councilmember Caleb?
Your Honor, these people, we all know we're supposed to, we chose to be on those committees.
Right.
And we chose to do what the committees want us to do at the time of appointing. And I get it that they're, you know, some of the committees are not on a 2 and 4, 1 and 3, et cetera. But we still, people are making a commitment to do this. I think it should be in person. Now, I get it when we're in a pandemic and all that. I don't have a problem with it, but we're not that way. I think it needs to be in person. People need to be in person doing it, and that's my opinion.
Anyone else?
I would have to go. I believe that we have a responsibility, and I'm not, here again, I'm not talking about the council and the planning commission and some of the other boards, but we do have small groups, commissions, committees, whatever they are, that have meetings scheduled. We had a historic preservation, I think, had a 5 or 7 day notice. I don't remember what it was. And then back in the past, pre-pandemic, before I even knew how to spell COVID, we had to leave the development advisory because we didn't have a quorum, couldn't even get a quorum on the telephone. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying that we should allow our people that's as a matter of convenience, but I do have enough respect for the people on the commissions to say, hey, you know, there may be a circumstance that in order to have, especially a smaller group, we may need to do that, and I hope we never do. I hope I'm totally wrong if we don't. It sounds like we're not gonna go any further with this, but I hope we never have the problem. I don't wanna go to a meeting and go, well, I just gave up my morning, even though I'm a liaison, because we can't get a quorum there. And I get that there's a responsibility. I like live meetings better, but I do think that there are exceptions that could be made. We can come up with all kinds of webinars and different things that we go to. Mid-America Council has webinars, the CDC has webinars, different story, but it does facilitate the meetings to go. So anyway,
Well,
done.
you know, unless there's a consensus from the council to do that, I don't want staff wasting time trying to come up with some method of doing it.
Your Honor, this goes back a long time when, but the Sunshine Law, at least for elected officials, I thought that we had tried some of that, I'm talking a couple decades ago, with the conference lines, and they came back and said, no, you shouldn't do it that way, you need to do it in person. So I assume that, you know, yeah, if it's an emergency situation, we can vary that, but does the Sunshine Law play in this, I guess? I guess that's a question for staff.
We will ask our city attorney.
Okay.
Well, I think the Sunshine Law does if it's a body that takes a roll call vote. Most of the boards and commissions besides Planning Commission, Council, Board of Adjustment don't.
Right.
If you take a roll call vote, then I think a majority has to be in person, the others can be by video conference.
Okay. So it would be a different standard for us then, it sounds like, at the council meeting.
Any other comments? Because again, I don't want staff spending a lot of time doing that if it's not gonna go anywhere. Yes, Councilman.
I guess what I would add to this discussion is my feeling is we recently passed our new standards of procedure. So I'd like to see how those work, if the attendance requirements solve the problem Councilmember Erickson is mentioning. In a year from now, we might have more information that says it's not working and the scenario he's addressing may happen more than we'd like, and we might have to do something like that. But it's still very new. We've only passed them within the last couple of months, so maybe it's wait and see how they work.
Is that okay, Councilman Erickson?
I'm only one.
Well, you brought it up for discussion.
Well,
We did have.
you know,
the
I had
discussion.
two examples,
Yeah, so.
and that's happened since this occurred.
Yeah.
And I don't recall, I did listen to the meeting back in April, I don't recall any discussion of this amongst the council. I'm sure they read the procedures and all that, but at the council meeting when this new procedure was approved, I don't recall this being discussed.
Okay, well, we have the discussion, and so.
I
there's
appreciate
not-
the
yeah,
discussion.
there's
Thank you, sir.
Not a consensus to have staff spend time doing that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next item, which are visitors. I don't have any visitors' appearance forms, but the young man sitting out there in the audience, other than staff, his name is B. James, and he's from Galveston, Texas. He drove Ola's niece up. Well, both of you shared the driving. Yeah, they drove up, so they're spending a few days with Ola and me, and we're happy to have him here. And kind of depends on how his relationship goes. He might be a nephew one day.
No pressure.
Do we need to swear him in on that?
Can we take a vote?
Now, when you agreed to come with me, you didn't know you were gonna take a lot of abuse, did you? Well, this council is not, opposed to dishing it out. But anyway, we're happy to have you. I'm glad you're able to ride over with me. Even in the heat, and as we drove, it went from 98 to 99 to 100 and 101. And I had him take a picture of that in my car information system. Okay, we're gonna go to Thoughts to Funda. Oh, and by the way, we had a great fireworks last night.
Yep.
For those, and thank Council Member Culpepper for posting that, and it was positive comments that I saw.
Yes.
I was waiting for somebody to say, well, why are you wasting money on fireworks? Because you know we get that too. But it's something that brings the community together, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
To the point that I got on stage with Gino and performed a little bit. Hopefully nobody recorded that.
I hear there is.
Yep, I can leave it up to Councilmember Kaler to make sure that that happens. Okay, Thoughts to Punda comes from Pinterest. It's a quote that says, "Life is short. Cut out negativity. Forget gossip. Say goodbye to people who hurt you. Spend your days with the people who care. Spend your days with the people who are always there." You get all that, Julia?
I think so.
Okay. If not, see me tomorrow and I'll explain it to you. I don't have anything else to come on the agenda. Is there anything else to come before the council? If not, I accept the motion to adjourn.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We adjourn.
No more Zoom for.
Okay, that was not bad. Yes. All right, you do too, Ron. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.